Each week I'm going to make a video recording and upload it to Blackboard via YouTube. This week I'm going to show you how to use the data, so use, and then I save some data online. On the bottom right of the screen where it says command, you can see me typing. I'm typing use, and then it has the internet address. See, it's going to the CSUDH website, and then it's going to my course and our course, your course, the section of the course for the year of the course. It has this long code there, OEGA 46901, and then it has the code to link it to the semester and the year on Blackboard. And mortality.dta, clear. So use, and then the name of the data you're opening, mortality.dta, it has the big long address. You type that exact same thing. And then comma clear just means clear whatever data is in there in case you had data open. In this case, you don't, but it doesn't matter. It's good practice when you're opening up data, get rid of whatever data you had before, because data could only use one data set at the same time, traditionally. So there's only 3 lines of code. We have to write the first line of code. You could see I typed it there. Period is what it shows in the window, but all you're typing is, you're not typing period, you're just typing use. That big long name, that brings you to mortality.dta. Stated data files are .dta. You can see the second thing you type is list. So after it says use the data, clear, list the data. So this data has the mortality rates for each race. So black mortality rate is 5,000, Hispanic 10,000, other 1,000, and white 500. And then I'm going to change this data. So you'll open the same mortality.dta at that same website, use the exact same code, except when you type list, you're going to see different numbers for the races. So when you do it, remember I'm changing this after I do the video, before you do your assignment, so you'll still see race, black, Hispanic, other, white, but then those numbers will be different. So instead of 5,000, it'll be some other number, and that's what I'll ask you for your quiz for this week. I'll ask you what's the mortality rate for black in the data, and you're not going to say 5,000, that's just my example. I need to make sure you open it and you're actually doing this. So that's the mortality rates for each of them. Remember, they're going to be different when you do it, but the things you're typing are the same. To get the graph, you type graph bar mortality over race. Just graph a bar chart of mortality for each race, graph bar mortality over race. You press enter, it'll open up a bar chart. Remember, your graph will be different because your data will be different. So instead of 10,000 for Hispanic, you'll have some other thing. So what's the highest mortality rate? Well, in the example, it's Hispanic. And I'll give you some data where maybe it's Hispanic, maybe it's something else. You'll each see for yourself individually, and then as a group, you want to make sure your PowerPoint slide has this graph. And then you're submitting whatever slides you made for this week before your presentation this semester. You're going to submit your slides with your name on them. So each person's doing 1 to 3 slides, and then also submit the graph slide. So when you submit your work, you'll have your slides and then a graph slide, and then but when the group's presenting, the group will give a bigger presentation about infant mortality, and as part of that presentation, the group will present the graph, right? The sort of collective group PowerPoint presentation only has one graph, right? So you each do the graph, but then when your group presents it, there's only one graph somewhere in it, because you'll all get the same graph, but it'll be a little different than what I did. And definitely email me with any questions.